All right. Welcome to the Bold Conservative Show. We have a gold mine of a show for you today. First, we're going to be talking about how residents harass, throw objects at Philly police leaving scene of the shootout. The shootout was crazy, lasted a long time. And then, after the shootout was over, residents of Philly threw things at the police and disrespected the police, calling them bitchs and using the N-word. All right. So, as you know, yesterday, after a wild standoff and shootout that left 6 cops wounded in Philadelphia, residents pelted objects and shouted obscenities at some of the officers involved. The video footage shows officers leaving the scene of the shootout only to be physically confronted, laughed at, and verbally abused by onlookers. Now, keep this in mind. 36-year-old Maurice Hill had a lengthy history of gun convictions, was being served a warrant related to a drug offense, and could easily have killed some of the cops involved. But you won't hear this on CNN. The officers were heckled and laughed at as they walked through the crowd, with one woman pushing a cop and calling him a bitch, ass, and then the N-word. So who do I blame for this blatant disrespect for the police? I blame Obama. I blame Obama because this has been going on since Obama was elected into office. So Obama, he basically enabled all of this. So that's who I blame. And that's who many others blame. See, this disrespect for cops has always been. So we can't really say that it just started. But it really escalated when Obama was elected into office. And then you had all of these teens, these black teens who were either running from the cops or pulling out some sort of a weapon. So the police shot them. And this is when all of this really escalated. Law enforcement officers have a really tough job. Not only do they have to arrest the people involved in crime, but they also have to deal with the families and the friends that gather around. So you had this shooting in Philadelphia. The guy was being served a warrant. He was being arrested for drug offenses and a history of gun convictions. So this guy, Maurice Hill, pulls out his gun and starts firing at the police. So obviously, to keep all of the citizens involved or in the vicinity safe, the police had to engage in a shootout with Mr. Hill. And the shooting actually lasted 6 hours, reports say. Some residents even tried to physically confront and scuffle with the officers. According to Philadelphia's KYW-TV reporter Alexandria Hoff, the harassment also took place during exchange of gunfire with the suspect. And this is what Hoff had to say. I mentioned this at 10, and since I was harassed during that live shot, I'll mention it here too. Hoff said on Twitter, a major moment of disappointment this evening was watching a crowd of people taunt police officers, laughing and yelling at them in the midst of the gunfire. So the police were protecting these civilians, these citizens. And once the shootout was over, 6 hours later, and mind you, it wasn't all the residents of Philly, it was a small group, reports say, gathered around the police, harassing them, throwing things at them. This is what we need to do. We need to make it a capital offense when a group of people gather around police and douse them with water or hit them with things. Just a few weeks ago, we saw a compilation video of many of these teens, actually teenagers, throwing water at law enforcement officers while they were trying to do their jobs. One even showed a video of a teen throwing the water on the officer while he was trying to handcuff the suspect. Then they hit him with the bucket. Could have seriously harmed this officer. After more than the 6 hours of gunfire, a SWAT team managed to get 2 officers and 3 hostages out of the building, with Hill was holed up safely. Where Hill was holed up safely. This is a reoccurring problem that we have. Constant disrespect for authority. These officers, mind you, they got into this job knowing what to expect. But it's getting to the point these days where these officers can't even do their jobs to protect citizens because they're being attacked. If they try to do their job, they try to defend themselves from an armed gunman, and they shoot the gunman. Then if the gunman just so happens to be a person of color, immediately the media and Democrat Congress, they all go after the police, calling him a racist for defending himself, for doing what he's sworn to do, and that is to protect and serve. We see the same thing with Border Patrol agents being harassed at their homes, being doxxed. We see the same thing with ICE agents, people going to their homes, harassing them, going to their buildings, their places of work, and trying to blow the place up, which you had a month ago. And this is all blatant disrespect. And I was showing this to my wife earlier, showing her how crazy this is. And we usually don't have dialogue before my shows. I'm just plan them, and then we get to work. But this time we really had to have a serious talk about this because, as you know, my wife is from India, born and raised, and people don't treat the police that way. They respect the police because the police do not take anything from the civilians. If you have an uprising, the police go with wooden sticks and start beating everybody into submission. That's what they do. In other countries, when groups like Antifa rise up against the police, they have a way of dealing with these protesters. and you have to show force. If the police is not allowed to show force, then what do you have? You don't have law and order anymore. People start getting hurt. People start committing crimes. But first, take a moment to check out our merch. Hi, Bold Conservatives. This is James Ledbetter, the host of the Bold Conservative Show. Take a moment to check out our custom t-shirts, designed by us and sold on Bonfire. Each shirt is designed with Bold Conservatives in mind. You can buy a tee with the custom Bold Conservative logo on it, or a Vote Trump Pence 2020 tee. We even have a Just Say No to Socialism tee. Make a bold statement by sporting these high-quality tees designed by me. Each tee created at Bonfire is a premium unisex tee, a classic crew neck t-shirt, usually by Next Level Apparel. This shirt is made with a 60-40 blend of cotton and poly. All tees are combed and ring spun for a soft texture and premium feel. You can purchase tees individually or order custom tees directly and take advantage of their bulk discounts. Don't see what you're looking for? Don't worry. We have more designs on the drawing table now. Get your tees today while supplies last. The links will be in the show description below.